So Arbitrum coin has some chances to form a decent reversal here, which would result in a trade inside this 100 and 200 EMAs. So welcome back everyone to another technical analysis, and today we're taking a look at ARB coin, ARB coin. So basically going to focus fully on the smaller time frames, because on the bigger time frames there is nothing much to say that we can't say on the smaller time frames, which means that if this area here will be broken, the price will just keep on tanking and tanking and tanking. I can't really say for how long, so the most logical scenario will be if we break this area, that we form the breakout structure, and another breakout structure, which means we had smaller breakout structure here, you can see, then another breakout structure here, and basically like this, a steep movement to the lower zones without any kind of correction movements. But after this stronger downside movement, so we had the first wave which formed this bullish steam gap, then we had the second one here which have formed a decent liquidity grab here. So going to mark this, actually we don't have to mark because it got already filled. So we had a liquidity grab here, some sort of correctional movement in within the range, and then price tanked once again, but right now we see more of resistance from the buyers. So what we can expect from here is going to put this to the minimum, keeping it as a plan B if this area is broken. But as of now, the main point of view for us is basically this 100 and 200 EMAs. So 100 and 200 EMAs are the main point as of now for us, because once we see a full breakout from 100 EMA, because we haven't broken out from this area here after this liquidity dump here, we most likely will be trading within the range of 100 and 200 EMAs. So once we break out from this area here, going to wait slightly more for a confirmation, and we have a decent long setup here forming, which would give us, let's see, risk and reward ratio to 1 to 4 basically. So this is the first game plan for us. Now, if this area will be broken, the next point of view would be this area here, 200 EMA, with this would be the target, this would be the stop loss. Now risk and reward ratio is 1 to 2 basically. So two potential trades can be taken on the 4-hour time frame, with the main game plan or the main character here being the 100 and 200 EMAs. Now going to look on the 30-minute time frame as well, just to see what's happening, and you can see a huge liquidity sweeps happening. So a liquidity movement, downside movement, another liquidity movement, liquidity grab, additional dump, liquidity sweep, then push. So a pure roller coaster movement during current economical news about the wars and things. So this is pretty acceptable. Not acceptable, but predictable. Now, most probably this kind of movement will follow during this upcoming week as well. So another game plan, if we take on the 30-minute time frame, we can just be trading within this range here. So this would be the local high, this would be the local low, and this whole zone would be the trading opportunity area. So if one of those zones will be reached, we will take a long. If this goes, we take short. This comes, we take a long. And if price is in between, we just wait, and that's it. Because it has to be pretty precise, I would actually move this one closer here, and this one I would keep here. This one I would move closer because the last liquidity sweep was pretty quick and some people might have not taken the opportunity. So I would wait for slightly smaller momentum here, and then on the 5-minute time frame would be expecting a similar movement here. So going to tap it somewhere in this region, actually going to form it in a box like this. So we had a decent push, first signs of weakness here. So the first wave, second wave, third wave, this is the main downside movement. Now we had another liquidity grab, and now the final downside movement, which formed the market structure break, and then a full downside movement. So we might be expecting this kind of scenario happening here as well. And again, if we fall to the lower zones, the game plan is very simple. We are near the lower zones. We form the break here, so a clean market structure break. Proper retest, liquidity grab, still not hitting the stop loss because the target, and this would have been like that, this local low area, and this would have been the target zone, sorry, this upper area, even higher, so this one here. Actually, we can keep it between these two zones, so 2 target points, not to keep it too broad. So something like this. Multiple trading opportunities with very high risk reward ratio if we will be trading just in between this smaller range here. And on the bigger time frames, just to show you that there is nothing much to say, you can see this chart is doomed. So what we can do is, after each downside movement, as you can see, we are seeing smaller recovery phases. For example, here we have a decent sideways channel, then a recovery phase, again downside movement, recovery. Now we had the dip, doomsday dip, then downside movement, smaller recovery, now further downside movement, and most likely this should be an ideal point for price to show us some kind of upside movement towards this bullish CM gaps. Because first of all, markets are way too oversold, and second of all, if we look just at the Arbitrum chart on the daily time frame, when price hits the lows and EMAs are way too far from the market price, which right now it's much further from the EMAs than it usually is, then price tends to have some kind of volatile movement to the upper zones, maybe similar to this one. So that's the game plan we are expecting. On the daily time frame, seems pretty bullish. On the 30-minute, should trade within the range, and on the 4-hour time frame, would be waiting for this area to be broken fully. Then this area would be acting as some sort of entry for us. So this is like a first confirmation area of breakout. Meanwhile, going to focus on the 30-minute time frame, if we see another rejection from here, we would be waiting for the price to fall further to lower zones. If not, if we break out from here, we go from this area, then again another opportunity to take a position. Multiple places and ways to take position, most of them are longs, as long as buyers keep dominance above this area. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you like it, feel free to leave a comment, and I will catch you tomorrow.